When you go on a hero's journey, you might emerge from the cave of wonder with an elixir, which is the potent, distilled wisdom that you have learned that will aid you and your society. Let's talk about that.
This is a beautiful thought.
Welcome, space travelers, mind adventurers, time benders. I want to talk to you today about the hero's journey, about the hero's elixir. So a lot of people know about the hero's journey. So the hero's journey is what they call a monomyth. So it's this kind of structure of a story which seems to exist among all humans. It's kind of the archetypical story, the story of all stories, kind of discovered by Carl Jung and later popularized by Joseph Campbell when he went into this in detail. I believe the book is called The Hero of a Thousand Faces, and the structure of this story is basically the structure that almost every myth or so many myths follow about how a hero begins his regular life, receives a call to adventure, declines, and later accepts, meets many allies and friends, and faces many tests. Eventually, he must enter the cave and defeat the beast that lies within. Of course, what happens is he doesn't just defeat the beast and goes home. He actually gains something from the journey. So he finds the elixir in that cave, returns home to find that his home is different, and then resolves that conflict as well. And they all live happily ever after. Now, what's not always obvious to us is that this hero's journey, part of the reason it's so archetypical and so popular, so repeated in almost every culture all over the world, is because it tells our story. This is the story of being a human, more or less. It's the hero of the transformation story. And that's why it always rings true when we see something like Star Wars, or we hear Odysseus's voyage, the Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey, because we recognize that there's something of us in this story. Now, here's a key question, and it would be wonderful if people would start to ask. A lot of the time in our lives, we have struggles, and in one way or another, we learn to overcome them. And if we're present, we even learn to integrate the lessons from our struggle into our life. And that leads us to greater depths of happiness. Now, the thing about the elixir that the hero finds in the cave, something which wasn't obvious until my friend Ariel Friedman pointed this out, the elixir has to be not something that's just valuable to the hero. It's actually something that's valuable to the entire society. So when we go through a struggle, we're not just, well, in a sense, we're going through it alone, but we're also going through it with this greater intent. Because when we emerge from the cave, we find that we have something that is valuable to society. And part of the reason it's valuable is because, again, it's something universal. The struggle is universal, and the fruit, the reward, the elixir is also something universal. It's something that can transform our society. So this is a question for people to ask, and maybe even if you're going through a struggle right now, you might begin to wonder, what will be the fruit of this? What might I learn by the end of this? What hidden piece is going to slide in so I can find that this struggle was all worth it. It was always meaningful. All meaningful and always meaningful. I like to say this blessing to people. May all your struggles be meaningful. Of course, it's not enough to ask for a life free of struggles. It will be probably quite a boring life. But if we can find the meaning, the elixir in our struggles, hidden in the cave, behind the beast, that will make it all worthwhile. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for searching for the meaning in your struggles, just as Viktor Frankl did. Thank you for finding the elixir. Have a great day, be well, and most importantly, have a good time. I'll talk to you soon.
A beautiful thought.
Thank you. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to share it with a friend. Give them a little reason to come along on the hero's journey with us to try to improve the quality of life of them and their friends as well, if they feel like it. All right, talk to you soon.